Okay, grade 9. So we have come to the end of our lesson, which is the consolidation, or should I say it's the conclusion. The topic we were discussing was what? Cell as the basic unit, of all living things, right? So just to wrap up everything, let me just start by asking, does anyone have a question? Okay, in the absence of questions, I will do a quick summary of what we have discussed, of what we have learned so far. We started this topic by what? By defining a cell. We said, what is a cell? We said a cell is what? Is the basic unit of all living things. Always remember that, grade 9. Let us repeat that. We said a cell is the basic unit of all living things. Then we went on to study the structure of a cell. We said that the cell is composed of what? Of a nucleus, it have what? A mitochondria, it have a cytoplasm, and so forth. Right? And then we also did mention the history, a brief history of a cell. We said, what is the brief of a cell? Who discovered a cell? We said it's what? It's Robert Hooke in 1662. We said Robert Hooke was a scientist that discovered what? A cell, and mentioned it as what? That a cell is the basic of all living things. Right, grade 9. We went on to mention the similarities. We looked at the plant and animal cell, right? We looked at the similarities. Firstly, we looked at the similarities between a plant and animal cell. We said both cells, they have what? Both they have cytoplasm. We also mentioned that both they have what? A nucleus. Anyone can mention the last two? Yes. Yes. The last two is what? Both cells have what? A cell membrane, and both cells have what? A mitochondria. It's mitochondria when there are two or many. It's mitochondria when it is one. Right. We went on to look at what? At the differences between a plant and animal cell. We said that a difference between a plant and animal cell. A plant cell doesn't have a what? A nucleus. I mean, a plant cell, animal cell doesn't have a chloroplast, and doesn't have cell wall, and doesn't have a what? A vacuole. Right. Consolidation now of today's lesson links everything together, right? So today we went on to define a what? To define a cell. We went on to recap on what? On the cell, I mean. And then we went on to discuss a tissue. We named the tissues that are found. We have an animal tissue, we have a plant tissue. We mentioned organs. Organs are what? A group of it's a group of tissues that make up a what? A organ. A tissue is made up of a group of what? A group of cells. Don't mention that. We mentioned the difference between all those things. So right now, I will give you a take-home activity. Take-home activity, I will write it on the board. Just to go through this home activity. This home activity, you'll go and define a cell. This is the number 1. Number 2, you'll define an organ. Number 3, you will define a tissue. Number 4, you will state the similarities between a tissue and an organ. Number 6, you will state the cell organization according. Cell organization, you speak of what? You speak of which one, or what is the first thing that starts between cell, organ, or a tissue? You can answer that, of course. Yes. Anyone who have a question? I was just speaking of the specifications with regards to the take-home activity. Yes. So if you have a questions, you can always come to my office. Just to mention something to you guys. I know that this sounds like a lot to some of you, but it's very, very simple. Just know that you have to be able to define a cell. You have to be able to define an organ. You have to be able to define a what? A tissue. You have to know to spot the differences between plant and animal cell. You have to know the differences between the similarities between a plant and animal cell. You have to know the cell. What is a cell? To define it. What is the history of a cell? Because a cell goes a long way. Because you learn about it next year and next of next year, even in tertiary. So don't be intimidated by when a question comes and ask you what is a cell. And then last but not least, at home, just go and do some digging on your textbook for reference. Do some digging, study about the plants and animal cell. The cell is the basic unit of all living things. Yes. So for now, I will just end this lesson. I hope you guys had a good experience, because I did enjoy teaching you guys. I hope on our next lesson it will be more fun and more enjoyable. I thank you.